supporting Rishi Sunak?
I am, yes.
OK. What happened yesterday? Because it looks as though Penny Mordaunt was a shoo-in to go through and she didn't.
I think there's a lot of support for Rishi in the Parliamentary Party, and that was recognised in his coming top of the ballot. I think it'll be, there'll be a tough contest ahead. Both Rishi and Liz are strong candidates, but I believe that he is our best chance of winning the general election, and he's got a plan to get a grip on inflation, grow the economy and reduce our taxes.
Was there any skullduggery with votes being handed around?
Well, certainly not that I was aware of, but this is a notoriously sophisticated electorate, so some of my colleagues no doubt did. Probably different MPs voted tactically, but the Rishi campaign was strongly encouraging all its supporters to vote for Rishi. We weren't engaging in these tactical voting games.
Because Penny Mordaunt, of course, would have been, some say, a more formidable challenger than Liz Truss. Do you agree?
Both Penny and Liz have great qualities. I mean, we had some fantastic candidates in the MP rounds. Now it's down to the membership to pick the person who's going to win us a general election.
Are you going to tell your candidates to stop tearing lumps out of each other?
I absolutely want a positive contest. And some of the hustings comments were, it's always difficult when you've got people within the same party competing against one another. But I know Rishi wants to make a positive case about what he's going to do to get us through what are going to be very difficult economic times.
Do you think he regrets the comment that he made on the ITV debate about which he regrets more, being a Remainer or being a Lib Dem?
I mean, that wasn't the greatest moment of his campaign. I probably regret that. I'm not sure that was the right thing to do. But the important thing is who is going to be the person to get us through this inflation crisis. And I think Rishi has demonstrated he's got the track record and he's got the plan to do that.
But he wants to certainly not decrease taxes for now. How will that go down with the party faithful?
I hope they'll recognise that actually both the two candidates want to reduce taxes, but Rishi is the one who recognises that because of the inflation crisis that we face, because of COVID debt, we need a degree of caution. He's determined to get our taxes down, but only once inflation is beaten first.
But if somebody's offering jam today, it's very difficult, especially in a cost of living crisis, to think, oh, actually, I won't vote for that.
Our members, I think, recognise that Thatcherism is about sound money as well as low taxes. Mrs Thatcher, her prime focus when she first arrived as Prime Minister was fixing the public finances and getting inflation under control and grappling with economic problems before she started cutting taxes in a big way.
Why is there such a disconnect between MPs, Conservative MPs and Conservative grassroots voters? Because it looks as though, he's obviously very popular, your candidate, with MPs. He won the ballot easily. But when it comes to Tory grassroots voters, who will decide who is the next Prime Minister, he's not quite as popular. Why is that?
Well, to be honest, we don't know what the membership think. Polling Conservative Party members is a notoriously difficult thing to do.
Politicians always say this, and it's a bit like, and somebody said to me, a pollster said to me yesterday, the day before, it's a bit like actors saying they never read reviews. Of course you take notice of the polls.
I very much hope members will be impressed by Rishi's three-point plan to get us through these difficult economic times. We need someone who's demonstrated that he can have a grip on the government, that he can deliver, the policies we need to win us a general election. I believe that he will get our taxes down, but he wants to do it in a responsible way.
Yeah, the problem is him being a Judas, according to some, with the Prime Minister, is not going to serve him well. Prime Minister having a pop at him yesterday from the dispatch box.
Well, I don't believe in that kind of characterisation at all. I think that's really unfair. It's obviously been very damaging to the Conservative Party as a whole, the circumstances that led to a resignation of a Prime Minister. These events are deeply traumatic, but now we need a fresh start. We need to elect a new leader and then unite behind that new leader.
Do you think that when the Prime Minister yesterday was saying what he was saying about don't always take the advice of the Treasury, he was particularly indirectly referring to your guy?
You'll have to ask Boris and his team that. But yeah, it is important for any minister in a department to challenge the orthodoxy of their civil servants. I'm sure Rishi was able to do that in his time. And I'm sure if he does become our Prime Minister, he will be taking forward those ideas in the manifesto on which we're all elected. And he'd be prepared to challenge the civil servants to make sure that they deliver on those promises that we made to the electorate at the general election.
What did you make of Labour not standing up for the Prime Minister yesterday?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
Labour not standing up for the Prime Minister to applaud him on his last Prime Minister's questions yesterday. What did you think of that?
Well, I think it would have been courteous for everyone to have taken part in that applause because as an outgoing Prime Minister, that's a huge occasion. And I believe that Boris has delivered a huge amount for this country, not least getting Brexit done and also guiding us through the worst health emergency for 100 years with one of the most successful vaccine programmes in the world. So I think that deserved recognition and applause.
Theresa May didn't.
Well, that's a matter for her. I mean, if you have questions about that, that's there to be directed at her.
A bit churlish?
Well, as I say, I think an outgoing Prime Minister deserves applause, particularly one who leaves the country with important benefits as a result of his premiership.
What are you most anxious about over the next 6 weeks? Where should we start?
I think anything can happen in this membership vote, but I know that Rishi and his team are going to be working incredibly hard to convince the members on this, and he'll be bringing forward fresh ideas on how we fix the economy, in particular how we get business investing, how we improve our skills training so we invest in making us a more productive economy, because that's ultimately the thing that's going to raise living standards and get us through this inflation crisis.
And what are you most looking forward to, apart from obviously hoping that your candidate wins on the 5th of September? Is it the debate a fortnight today?
I think I'm quite looking forward to this being Parliament's last day sitting before the summer recess, so that there's a few of us who get a little something of a break. But I think we'll see some great debates in the hustings. I hope they're well attended by the membership. And I believe that the membership will recognise that in difficult times, we need someone with proven experience and an economic plan to get us through difficult times.